Hey Josh. Hey MZ. Hey Joseph. I'm not your dad. Hey Colin. I did find a shirt, so I got that going for me. Ready for draft talk. Yeah, here we are, men. I love those questions about who do we trade. You want to know the best part about the Cowboys? You can't trade anyone, basically. There's no one to trade. No one wants Jalen Smith at his contract. No one would want Zeke at his contract. No one would want Tank at his contract. I guess you could trade Alden Smith for like a mid to late round pick. Nope, this is that organic tanking, boys and girls. This is that you don't have an offensive line. You have nothing. You have nothing. The good news, it's not a V-neck or a scarf. It's the mask that I wear when I go out. And it just happens to be around my neck right now. Hi, Brendan. That's my nephew. Yep. So it's not good, guys. It's not. No, you don't trade Gallup, John. Although maybe. No, Zeke's not hurt. He's a running back. Running backs get what's blocked for them. That's what they do. That's why you never pay one. Dynamic with the great question. Top 5 pick. Still pay Dak. If I had a top 5 pick and you told me I could have Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields, I'd pick them and I would tag and trade Dak and I'd have a whole bunch of draft picks and I'd throw most of them at the defense and I would hope that something stuck. And then you look at a team like the Ravens where they've got a guy on their rookie deal. Like I wouldn't do this if I had Pat Mahomes or Joe Burrow or Herbert who I just picked. But if I've got a top 10 guy who's about to get paid, but I could have a premium draft slot to get a premium quarterback prospect and save over $30 million a year, and I've got a chance that he could be even better than the guy that I would be paying. A chance. A chance. These are risky things. I would pick that quarterback, and then I was doing this on the air the other day, like Lamar Jackson, with him, they could then trade for guys like Marcus Peters, Calais Campbell. I'm missing some, but you can trade for proven commodities, 2 or 3 or 4 high quality starters. And then if your quarterback does become as good as the guy that you decided not to sign, whoo, you are cooking on that rookie deal, baby. And I'm with you, Josh. If Dak leaves, I'll probably become a fan of wherever he goes too. I love Dak. What? Prospect question mark. Well, not you, Peyton. Not you, prospect. A quarterback prospect. Don't spam the chat, Brendan. No, we should not fire Mike McCarthy. No one could do anything with this team. You don't have an offensive line. You have 0 good offensive linemen. Biotish maybe, but you have no tackles. Right guard's not good. Left guard's not good. Center's hopefully good next year. You don't have an offensive line. Think about the Cowboys this way. Think about it this way. No, they should not fire Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore's good. He has nothing to work with right now. He's got nothing. Nothing. Go position group right now in the Cowboys, okay? The offensive line's atrocious. Probably the worst in the league, right? Probably the worst offensive line in the league. Tight ends aren't good without Jarwin. So you're awful at O-line. You're not good at tight end. You're good at receiver. Your running backs, in theory, are pretty good, but not really playing well. And it doesn't matter because you can't block, so your running backs are going to be bad. You have no good defensive tackles. Vander Esch might have been okay today. You have no good secondary players. Woods is okay. Diggs is hopefully on the track to becoming good. But for now, you have bad secondary, pretty bad linebackers, awful defensive tackles, okay defensive ends, awful O-line, bad quarterback. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Taiwan, question for you. What is Lawrence without the weapons he has in the line in front of him? He's a prospect. I'm not guaranteeing his success, but he's an elite prospect. And if you get a chance at an elite prospect on a rookie deal and you don't have an elite quarterback at the moment, you'd be, look, almost everybody who could potentially have the number one pick should pick Trevor Lawrence. This isn't about Dak. If you've listened to me long enough, you know I love Dak. I'm a Dak man. Should have signed him 2 years ago. But if you find yourself in a place where you can pick Trevor Lawrence, and maybe this applies to Justin Fields, you do it because you have a chance to get elite quarterback play for no money. It's amazing. Peyton, remember when Micah told us the Cowboys were going to fight hard for Dak? That was funny. They might be fighting hard. I'm not saying your name, Peyton. Bye, Brendan. They might be fighting hard. They're not good. That's the thing. Like, oh, I don't know. They don't play hard for the coach. What? Shut up. They're probably playing their hardest. They're bad at football. They don't have good players. If you're picking fifth, do you tag and trade Dak to move up to 1 and get Lawrence? Whoever has 1 is not going to trade it. The Jets aren't trading that. It'd be more fun to tank with Andy Dalton or Jameis. The Nooch! Jameis might accidentally win you games. I want no part of Jameis. The good Jameis is good. That might help you. I don't want that. Please fire Mike Nolan. Nolan's probably going to get fired at the end of the year. I feel like he's probably a really bad defensive coordinator. But I don't want that to distract from the fact that the players are bad. Where it's like the players are like, coaches don't know what they're doing. No, you guys are awful at football. You don't have good players. You guys aren't good. On defense, Tank is good. Alden Smith's good sometimes. That's about it. They're not good. What are you going to do? What are the chances they sign Dak 1 to 10? Assuming that Dak fully recovers from the injury without any hiccups or anything, I think it's well over 50% that they sign Dak long term. Because you don't walk away from good QB play unless they go 2-14. Yes, Brandon. Lawrence is just a prospect. You could miss. You could be wrong. Same with Justin Fields. You could miss. You could be wrong. You could. That's what prospects are. It's just a matter of how you feel about that player. And I think that those players are good. Are there prospects on defense this year like Trevor Lawrence? Not like Trevor Lawrence because he plays quarterback. Yes, Alejandro, this is a bottom 3 team in the league. And the roster's not bottom 3, but Jarwin's gone, Tyron's gone, Lyle's gone. You're dead in the water. Dak's gone. You're dead in the water. Teams don't survive that. You look like hell from Chad. I haven't even showered today, man. I made my chicken wings, though. Wesley, you get to be GM for 1 day. What changes do you make? It's hard because they've signed stupid deals that you can't get out of. It's all stuff they should have done before the year. Because guys like Everson Griffin, Dontari Poe, Tyrone Crawford, you can't save that money by cutting them. Their money's fully guaranteed because they're a vested veteran and the season already started. So there's nothing you can do about that. You can't get rid of Jalen Smith. You can't get rid of Ezekiel Elliott. You can't sign Dak to a contract right now. They had a really bad offseason, and there's nothing they can do about it until you get to the offseason. And then you cut Poe. Was Griffin a 2-year deal that's really a 1-year deal? If so, you cut him. You save those monies. Tyrone Crawford's off the books and gone. What you're going to do is you are going to throw a whole bunch of draft picks at defense and hope that 3 or 4 of them stick. Because next year when the season starts, if Tyron is back and is healthy, if Lyle Collins is back and is healthy, then you're going to have an awesome offense. If Dak is back and is healthy. Thank you, Stone. That's right. You're going to have an awesome offense. It's just what are you going to do about the defense? And the answer is you're going to have to find at least one D tackle in the draft or free agency that doesn't suck. You're going to have to find multiple corners in the draft or free agency. You're going to have to find at least one and probably multiple safeties. So, good news is they got a bunch of comp picks. So, what do they have this year? Like 10 or 11 picks? Something like that? Fire darts at the board. Fire dart. You do not fire Will McClay, Peyton. Although he's got to own what's going on now. He's part of it. He's been untouchable to me forever. But you're part of this one. Griffin and Poe and Worley, and that free agency class was awful. Draft class will probably turn out good. Yeah, hit the like button, please. How can you depend on Tyron being healthy? You can't, Vincent, but here's the other part of that, all right? So you need a ton of stuff, right? You need tons of things. So if Tyron doesn't retire and he comes back and he says, I'm playing, and Lyle Collins comes back and he says, I'm playing, and you use a first-round pick on an offensive tackle, and Tyron is healthy for 13 games like he usually is, and Lyle's healthy for 14 games, you've got a first-round pick that you just spent that's going to watch every football game. Because he ain't going to be better than those two. He's going to watch. So you do not want Bucky Brooks running your football team. I enjoy his draft stuff, but Bucky Brooks is old school football. You do not want him running your football team, according to me. I like Bucky. I don't want that to sound like a shot at Bucky. But I don't want people who will ever say things along the lines of, you've got to run the ball to win. I don't think that is actually understanding football, so I wouldn't want anybody like that to run my football team. Jerry needs to step down and hire a proper GM and let him run a team. He'll never do it, so it's not worth worrying about. Just not worth worrying about. I didn't see what happened with 10 seconds left there, Chris. I turned off the game with like 4 minutes left. How many players that started for the Cowboys today would actually start for any other NFL team? Alden Smith's a free agent they hit on, Peyton. Shut up. None of their offensive linemen would start on other teams. Maybe Biotish if you have awful center play. Maybe Connor Williams if you had awful guard play somewhere. But on an average team, nobody on the O-line starts. None of your tight ends start. Your receivers do. Zeke or Pollard could. Just depends on the team. Defense, Tank starts on almost every team in the league. Alden Smith could start on a bunch of teams. None of your D tackles start. If you have terrible linebacker play, Van Der Esch could start, or just bad. Here come the dogs. None of your corners start. Xavier Woods could start on some teams. Look who wants to be a part of the show. Is that you? Is it you? You want to be a part of the show? Yes. So yeah. Okay. All right. Really hope we decline LVD's 5th-year option. Hey, chill out. No, Taco. Running is not how you win. You run after you've already won. Passing efficiency wins in the NFL. That's what wins. I mean, if you could run for like 5 or 6 yards a carry and you don't throw the ball well, then sure, you can run the ball. But take Tennessee, somebody who people would say like, oh, Tennessee wins because they run the football. They're old school. They sucked. Derrick Henry was always a good running back, and their team sucked. And then they got Tannehill, and they put him in. Suddenly, Derrick Henry's a stud, and they're winning a bunch of games. It ain't about running. Wesley, I'm not concerned too much about CD's drops, other than I wonder if that's a sign that pretty much everybody on this team is just like, we suck. This is over. My dog does not have to go to the bathroom. The back door is open. I leave it open all the time. Good news is it's time for the nooch. Hey. Oh, you want me to throw this? Yes. Isaac's still in the practice squad, Angel. I don't think he is a NFL football player either. But hopefully he can keep developing there. Maybe he becomes one. Yes, Dak is a true franchise QB faux show, Chad. Yes, he is. I just hope he heals up right and gets on back. On defense, who stays next year if contracts were not an issue? Alden, Tank. I'd keep Van Der Esch for the upside in case he stays healthy. I'd keep Diggs. I think he could be pretty good next year. That new D tackle, Juice Hamilton. Maybe he could be one of my like 4 D tackles. That's about it. Cheeto. God, they miss Byron. God, they miss Byron. Jeff, did somebody want Woods, Cheeto, Thompson, Poe, Griffin? Oh, nobody wants those guys. I mean, maybe if you had a playoff team that's atrocious in the secondary and Cheeto were healthy, you could get like a late round pick. Maybe somebody who's desperate at defensive end will give you a 7th round pick for Everson Griffin. But there's not a lot happening here. If we lose out, does the coaching staff get the axe? I hope not. I like McCarthy. I like Kellen Moore. Mike Nolan can go. The defensive staff, I don't care. I don't care about them. They can go. No problem. I say trade Smith and don't re-sign Wolf Hunter. That's fine. You can trade Alden Smith. If we end up with a top 5 pick, who you taking with your first pick or trade down to get? All right, well, as I've said before, if Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields is an option, to actually evaluate them, but just watching them play, I think I would do it. And then I would tag and trade Dak, restart this thing and rebuild this thing with a quarterback on a rookie deal that hopefully can become as good or better than Dak is for a lot less money. And then I'd have extra picks from trading Dak. Now, if I'm not picking a quarterback, then I would be looking at Patrick Surtain, the Alabama corner, Micah Parsons, the Penn State linebacker, Penny Sewell, the offensive lineman from Oregon. If I think he can play guard. If he's straight up tackle, I'd probably go a different direction. Caleb Farley, Virginia Tech. But you guys know what I do. I trade down. That's what I do. I trade down. Yeah, Pete, $10 million a year versus $40 million a year. The difference is now I can go flip picks for veteran players that make $15 million, and I could get 2 of them. Or I could get 3 that make $10 million. You can do a lot. I think D-Law has a lot of dog in him, Chad. I don't think he ever quits. I think you can find a lot of players in this defense that quit. Tank Lawrence is not going to be one of them. Oh, I think the defensive coaches probably suck, but the defensive players just don't have ability. They did a bad job putting a defense on the field. Tyrone's still on the team, Jonathan, because cutting him now doesn't save you any money. Veterans who are on the team on day one, their salary's guaranteed. You don't save any money if you cut him. If no one is fired, Jeff, who would you go after as a defensive corner? Hell, I don't know. We always build up all these guys as great defensive coordinators that have great defensive players, and then when they don't have great defensive players, they're not good defensive coordinators. So I don't know. All right, I'm going to watch some Red Zone, eat some chicken wings. Brandon Carr is not still here, John. He gone. I don't think he was a fan of this coaching staff either. Blow it up. All right, everybody, tweet out your tank emojis. Make sure you're subscribed. Tell your friends. I love you.